Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life, and tomorrow is a very important day for AT&T as they report their quarterly earnings in the morning. And the reason I say it's a very important day, it's because it's the first quarter where we're going to see what impact the new unlimited plans have had on the business since they've been launched. So we are going to see, has it made an impact? Are we going to see 300,000 postpaid net adds with this plan, or are we going to see it gradually increase in Q2 and Q3? Or could they have a blowout quarter tomorrow where they say, hey, we added 400,000? So that's why it's a critical earnings tomorrow to see if those plans have had an impact so far since they've been announced. Next, I think this is also a critical earnings because they want to see have the losses on TV slow down. So last quarter, AT&T announced that they have peaked at losses on the traditional TV side. So now tomorrow we want to see, and of course investors and analysts have those losses slowed. Will they still lose? Yes, 100% agree. They will lose between, I want to say, anywhere from 200 to 500,000. That is still a very realistic number. They can still lose that many traditional TV customers that use DirecTV. I just think its business is dying out on that end. I don't think they're as aggressive anymore on it. It's just getting too expensive. The TV stations are asking for so much in return. It's causing an increase on the consumer side. So after promotional periods, most customers they're just going to leave. They're going to look for another way to cut cord, another package elsewhere, another promotional deal. So I think those numbers I mentioned between 2 to 500,000 losses on the TV side are still a realistic number. So those are two of the most critical points that most analysts and board members and investors are going to look at on the business side. I still see them making profits. There's still going to be huge profits there. They're still going to post really high revenue. So I think that's going to go as planned, and I think that will continue throughout Q2 and Q3. AT&T is always going to make their profits. We all know that. But one thing I think analysts are going to question, if tomorrow AT&T posts a between 200 to 400,000 quarter on the wireless side, I think most analysts and investors are going to question if they can continue that upside into Q2, Q3, and Q4. So pretty much the remainder of the year, can they continue growing on the wireless side? I think what tomorrow will show, if we see those high of numbers, it will show that the new plans are working and that it could potentially happen that they grow on the wireless side throughout the entire year 2020. I think right now that's their biggest opportunity, biggest growth opportunity, biggest anything on the business is going to come from wireless. That is just my opinion, and I think many of you may agree. I don't think they have much left on the traditional TV side to compete on other than promotional offerings, but those customers are leaving now. So even if they're gaining DirecTV customers, the losses are still way offsetting any of the gains that they're making. And then by the time they make more of the gains, the promotional customer that has been there for a year or two already, they're already ready to get out of that service. So it seems like it's going to be a reoccurring thing where AT&T is just going to continue taking losses and losses on the TV side. And I think they're fine with that. If those lower paying customers want to leave after a promotional period, AT&T is 100% fine with that. They may not directly say so to the public, and they may have said that, but I think they are okay with it. They're like, let them leave. We want to keep the customers that are willing to pay $300, $400, $500 bills a month. Those are the customers they want. And I don't know if they've blatantly said that publicly, but I think that's what they're thinking. And that's just the mentality when you're such a conglomerate in such a huge company, you got to make profits. So I think those are the two things tomorrow that we're going to look out for. Did they lose big on the TV side? Did it slow down? And then how did the wireless do? We need a huge update. I think we need a big update on FirstNet. Where is it now percentage-wise? Is it 80, 85%? Did they gain any significant square miles on LTE? I think they need to report that tomorrow. This is a very critical year for AT&T to catch Verizon in coverage, and also to fulfill the FirstNet contract to hit the next milestone to gain that reimbursement from the government. We've all seen it. I've been reporting on it. AT&T has now surpassed Verizon and T-Mobile on speed in most third-party testings. It's not a secret anymore. It's becoming a fact. Do they still lack coverage? Yes, most definitely. They're still behind on square miles, on raw square miles of the United States geographical coverage. AT&T is still behind Verizon, and they are going to close that gap this year. By mid towards end of this year, they are going to gain very, very large on Verizon. That's going to continue into 2021. And the reason I say Verizon is they're going to close that gap is because Verizon's just not as focused anymore on growing their coverage because they're already bigger. Can they start it up at any time again? Of course. Verizon has most of their capital investment tied into the wireless. They don't have any other divisions. They got rid of Go90, Yahoo, so they're not running anything else really. They're focused on wireless. Whereas AT&T, as we all know, is tied into TV, HBO Max. That's going to take an investment for original content. They're tied into their subsidiary. I mean, they're just so tied into all this other stuff that, at any time you can lose focus. That can happen within a big a business that large. So it's going to be very interesting. I think it's exciting to see them really competing in the wireless side. It just brings, more competition. In the past, it's really just been Verizon, if you think about it. If you go back to 2013, 14, 15, if T-Mobile didn't get that Un-carrier movement going and get really started, it was really just Verizon competing heavily on the network. AT&T was doing what they were doing, but they weren't expanding network. They weren't really aggressively rolling all the spectrum layers out. They've had the spectrum for some time now. Of course, over the years, they've gained band 30 and some other spectrum, but they've had that spectrum portfolio for some time. They could have been this good in 16, 17, 18, but they decided to really get going when that FirstNet contract came around. So can we thank FirstNet for that? Yeah, be my guest. I mean, yes. And that question we will probably never get the answer to if AT&T would have made this type of push. If they never would have gotten that FirstNet contract, is a answer we will probably never hear. But again, it's a more broader picture that we have to look at, and a few of those questions will be answered in tomorrow morning's earnings call. We will learn a lot more. If I'm going to be very comfortable if they post 300,000 to 400,000 with these new plans. It shows that they are competitive now in the wireless industry. The best time right now is literally the phone deals that are going around. It's the best time right now to be in the wireless industry and to be a switcher. You can switch to AT&T now. You can get a free iPhone XS if you switch. With T-Mobile, you've seen the deals. 2 lines, $90, free iPhones. I mean, we've never gotten that in the past. So it's a great time to be in the wireless industry if you are looking for great deals, better networks. Every single carrier right now has had their network perform the best that it ever has. T-Mobile may have had slowdown, but their coverage, it's the largest it's been. In some areas, Sprint is faster than they've ever been. AT&T is the fastest network now in the United States. 2 years ago, we weren't saying that. It was between T-Mobile and Verizon. So it's just a great time to be in the wireless industry. Lots of things moving every single day. 6 months is a very long time within the wireless industry. So I just wanted to make this video kind of giving you guys a preview of what's potentially going down tomorrow. I will, of course, report back tomorrow once these numbers all come out and kind of give you my take on how I think it went. But I think personally, this is just really my opinion. If AT&T posts anything below 200,000 ads on wireless, it has to be considered a failure with those new plans. That's just my honest opinion. I think anything under 200,000 is a failure. The only at that point, if they do post below 200,000, the only business segment where they're going to grow, that they've been growing substantially, is prepaid. They are dominating prepaid. If you guys have been following the channel, T-Mobile has slowed, Boost is losing, Cricket is the only one growing right now, largely as Metro PCS used to be in the prepaid market. So definitely stay tuned to the channel, especially for tomorrow morning as I report on this. And I definitely want to get your guys' take on all this info and see what you think. Do you think AT&T really needs to do more? Do you think the TV side losses need to stop altogether? They need to stop that bleeding. Can they stop that bleeding? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content like this. Also follow all of the Tech Life social media outlets for more updates and interactions. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.